So disruption is something that we're engaging with more and more in our space. And as an industry, we're starting to talk about this with a term that we call insuretech. Now, it's not unique to Santam anyway, but certainly the drivers of insuretech are becoming more and more real to us. So, and there are two sort of fundamental things there for us. The first is the fact that the customer and the customer's needs are changing all the time. And the second is the role that technology plays to enable speed to market and enable distribution. So insuretech, or the drive of disruption, is really, in our minds, about three things customers really want. The first is undoubtedly the fact that the world is a lot more connected. So connectivity is a reality to us. So there's an old adage that if you download an app and the app is for free, you're the product. So what we can do through the wearables, through the Internet of Things, and the data that we can really grow is really something that's standing out more and more for us. So connectivity is key. So how do you take all that data, all the interconnectedness, but still tailor something that's simple and usable? And we see things like blockchain having more and more of an impact in that space. There are very good examples out there of the Ubers and the Netflixes and the Amazons who've really come and created a space. And they almost sat with a key advantage. They almost got to stand back and say, what does the customer need? And then build something for that. And we sit a little bit with these big legacy engines and mainframes and ways of doing business being established over a long period of time. Some trends emerging from disruption. And these are the ones, I suppose, that we particularly from a Santam perspective are looking at. The first is very much, we've seen an impact in what we call peer-to-peer insurance. So there's an opportunity now using technology, particularly enabled by blockchain going forward, which is a secure interaction mechanism, that more and more people will get together to try and bypass traditional intermediaries. So in people insuring people, sharing that, and the traditional carrier becoming far more of a reinsurer, taking catastrophe type risks and allowing those models. So peer-to-peer insurance is something that we're watching. Then new sources of data. So I mentioned a little bit about the Internet of Things and wearables. Fundamentally, this is going to allow for far more tailored rating going forward. So being able to almost change rating midterm, being far more specific, behavioral data becoming a far bigger driver. So picture a world in the past where you would rate business based on the data you had. Now you rate business based on any data that's available. Data is going to be key, new sources of data. I think the other thing in that space is it's not just about data. So the third key thing that we really have to watch then is going to be data modeling. We know that the new entrants to the market are come with these very sophisticated data models. They're going to come with very developed ways of using and applying data. So data modeling becomes critical. Then there's no doubt that we're going to see more and more as well of this concept of turn on and turn off type of insurance. So we've seen it happening in the cell phone space with a pay-as-you-go type of telephony, and there's no doubt that in insurance we're probably going to end up in that same type of space. Going to Cape Town on holiday from Johannesburg, click, I'd like insurance for my trip, please. Thank you very much, Andrew. That's going to be 413 Rand. Click, I've arrived safely. Glad you're at your destination. And it goes off your SIM card as a payment mechanism or your bank account. So this whole concept of turn on and turn off insurance, all of this is ultimately still held together by the new developments that we see happening in blockchain. And perhaps blockchain is the biggest enabler of disruption going forward. But there's no doubt that the whole traditional intermediary way of proving and enabling trust and facilitating commerce will be fundamentally enabled by blockchain. So we see that as also a key disruptor going forward.